Yes, this is a very important question which is raised with reference to other verses as well. Ma Muhammadun illa Rasul qad khalat min qablihi rusul afa in mata aw qutila inqalabtum ala aqabikum. So these should be read together. You see? Did you read the same verse?
Yeah.
Oh, but another verse, I'm sorry, which says, that if you had said anything against us, وَلَوْ تَقَبَّلَ عَلَيْنَا, he had said anything, يَتَقَبَّلَ عَلَيْنَا بَعْضَ الْأَقَابِيلِ لَأَخَذْنَا مِنْهُ بِالْيَمِينِ ثُمَّ لَقَطَعْنَا مِنْهُ الْوَتِينَ. مِنْهُ الْوَتِينَ. That's right. So here, the severing of wateen is mentioned as the indication of his falsehood. And there it is said that even if he is murdered, that should not be taken as an indication of his falsehood. You understand? There is a contradiction apparently between that verse and this verse, and Wallahu yasmuka min nas. Allah will save you from the people. That is the most important verse which should be kept in view, which commands the whole subject. Allah had promised him that he will save him from people's attempt to murder him. As such, this verse got fulfilled throughout his life. He did not die at the hands of the scheming murderers. Correct? Yet, because in the past, prophets are known to have been murdered, and the Holy Quran mentions them, not in name, but in principle. So those who believe that in the past prophets have been murdered, if Rasulullah ﷺ got murdered also, it was no proof, according to these people, of his falsehood. You understand? So all these three verses should be read together under the commanding verse, Wallahu yasmuka minan nas. Allah had promised him he would save him. So as such he was saved. But even if he were murdered, it is a supposition. Even if he were murdered, those who believe in earlier prophets to have been murdered and still they believe them to be true, what right have they got to turn back on their heels and run away from Rasulullah? So this is what I think is the collective argument. The second verse which I mentioned in this regard is generally misinterpreted. Allah clearly says that even if he had said, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لو تقبل علينا بعض الأقاويل لأخذنا منه باليمين ثم لقطعنا منه الوتين فما منكم من أحد عنه حاجزين. This verse is misinterpreted because it is believed that if Rasulullah ﷺ had been murdered, his jugular vein had been cut, then it would be sure proof that he had attributed false things to Allah. If this is true, then what is the meaning of that verse, Wallahu yasmuka minan nas, and what is the meaning of Ma Muhammadun Rasul qad khalat min rusul, that full verse? these things appear to be in contradiction against each other. You understand? But if you reread that verse, وَلَا تَخَوَّلَ, you will understand that Allah says, presents a scenario where people are trying to save the person from Allah's wrath, and they cannot save him from Allah's wrath. Here, murder is not mentioned in fact. Jugular veins means his central authority will be destroyed. His message will be destroyed. Nothing will be left of him. And in this scenario, Allah presents a picture that false prophets are always supported by people. They are not made a target of their threats. So, if Rasulullah ﷺ had been a false prophet, then the picture should emerge that you should all try to save him from Allah's wrath and surround him to protect him. But none among you will be able to protect him if Allah decides to destroy him and his message. Qata'a minhul wateen is not a literal severing of jugular vein. It means destruction of the person and his message altogether. This is exactly what did not happen. Right? In other words, it says that if he had attributed to us even a small false thing, إِذَنْ سَنُدَمِّرُهُ تَدْمِيرًا. This word, نُدَمِّرُهُ تَدْمِيرًا, is mentioned in other words in the same verse, which is mentioned in case of all others who attribute falsehood to Allah. So in fact, I believe that even they were not murdered physically. This is what happened to them.
ويوضح ذاته أيضا ويقول نعتقد أيضا أن الموت لم تكن فقط يعني كانت فقط تلك الموت المادية ولم تؤثر في رسالتهم ولم تؤثر في تلك الفئات وتلك الرسالة التي بعثوا من أجلها.